What's up, YouTube? Royal Flush. What's good? What's good, everybody? What's up, Stardust? What's up? Don't call me Danny. Stardust always quick as fuck. I mean, but yeah, man. Welcome, just fresh off the Crumb Side review. I mean, it wasn't as entertaining as the last Crumb Side review. The last one was entertaining as fuck. This one wasn't that good. You know what I mean? But from what I was told, the one tomorrow is gonna be a lot better. What's up, Fatal? From what I understand, the one tomorrow is gonna be a lot better than the one tonight. But I'm gonna watch the one about tomorrow first before what I'm saying we go into it because I don't want to be not knowing what it is for real. I don't like reviewing shit without knowing, and we always want to do clear and concise reviews. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, if anyone watching later don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, we're doing a Crumb Side review. We basically review bullshit, Crumb Side, internet bullshit, gaming, sort of related shit on the round table. Whenever Crumb Side shit may pop off, we would come through and do that. I just recently came fresh from that. It's not as entertaining because it wasn't over anything valuable to break down, so it wasn't as good. But I'll read the one for tomorrow. But anyways, welcome to the Winning Hand Podcast, 18th edition. You know what I'm saying? Raw Flush Gaming. We doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm Royal Flush, Draco Rex, Asian Gambit. Let's talk about the Games Awards, man. Game Awards. Like I know God of War won and everybody's happy about that, but the way I see it, like real talk, the Game Awards is because it's the motherfucking Game Awards. Of course it would go to God of War. If any other game gets it, it'll be people would start calling bullshit. What's up, Jackknife? You know what I'm saying? People would start calling bullshit if God of War did not win. That game basically is the game of this year. It started so many memes that still goes on to this day. You know what I mean? And it's as far as the game is concerned, it's really well put together. Uh, but the thing I want to talk about, and it leads into perception versus reality, right? One thing I'm talking about is, do we really take these awards seriously? Like, do we really mean it? You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot, like me, I watch it for the announcements and trailers and shit, right? And Jeff Keighley got my ass because what I'm saying, talking about 10, what I'm saying, 10 announcements and shit. I'm over here thinking, well, most of them probably gonna be dog shit, but probably 10 out of 10, because at least two of them is gonna be, what I'm saying, two of them is gonna be nice, right? Nope, not even that. We got one sort of like Pathless look kind of dope, but besides from that, I'm looking at like, what we watching, man? All the shit that is dope, we already know about. Like, look at the fuck. We've seen plenty of this shit. Like, I know this shit's coming. Like, all the shit that was like nice, you already know it's coming. Like, do we even take Game Awards seriously like that? Like people would take music awards and shit, like movie awards and shit. Do we really take that shit seriously? Because if we did, I feel like Right Stardust, it wasn't even that good, man. That shit was. But I feel like if we take it seriously, we would actually give these categories like their due. You know what I mean? We would actually break it down properly. I don't really think people break it down that properly. Because Red Dead winning best voice actor though, I don't know, man. Like me personally, like I don't think he deserved to win. But my personal favorite voice actor was the dude who played Spider-Man, Yuri, something Durenthal or something like that. I don't know how to say his name, but he sold the Spider-Man voice for me, man. I actually believe this dude was Spider-Man, and the highs and the lows that he has to go through in that game. You know what I mean? I was very impressed by that. I felt like he deserved that shit. I don't really think. I mean, it's to play Arthur Morgan, you just have to have somewhat of a grizzled voice, and that's why I didn't give it to Kratos. The dude who played Kratos, because the dude who played Kratos did a good job, you know. But you just have to have that booming, presence about your voice to play Kratos, and you just have to have that grizzled voice to play a cowboy. It takes a lot to play a superhero. You know what I mean, to go through the highs and the lows of that. But that's just my opinion. Don't Call Me Danny. Have you heard the dude who played the dude who played Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead? I used to watch that show. I stopped like third season, something like that. Like right when they got to the prison. This thing I think is when I stopped watching. Like right around the prison, like mid season of the prisons. I think is when I stopped watching. And the dude who played Rick Grimes is also a British dude that speaks perfect English. There's like voice actors, like they get people to train them to do that. I'm not really impressed by that, to tell you the truth. That's a skill that you can learn. The reason why I'm saying I'm not really impressed by that, because I've seen that plenty of time. I have that skill, not to like the full extent of it, but I have that skill. Once I move, like depending on the region I go to, I can pick up their their dialect pretty easily, you know. But that's a skill that you can learn. And what I'm talking about is to convey emotion, to convey like, you know, the depth of your character and shit. It's hard to do, because some people can't help that they sound like a kid, and some people can't help they sound like old as fuck even if they're young. But how do you convey that emotion with your voice, right? That's what should win you the voice actor right awards. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Lay? But you feel me though, like just because you like can change your voice, like that is impressive, but that's a skill you can learn as far as like being able to perfect your craft as far as a voice actor. But I'm saying to convey emotion, to be that character, right? It's not hard to be Arthur Morgan, and I'm not taking away from like they did a good job. I and as far as visuals, can we really say like Red Dead's the best looking game of the year? Is it really? I don't really think it is. I don't think that's fair to give it that, man. It's not the best looking game of the year. I don't know, man. Like I'm not saying I'm not taking anything away from Red Dead. It's a good game, but to win the awards that it won, it was very odd to me. Over 900 lines. Tito, I mean, I can understand if you feel that way. Like he did a good job, man. But Kratos, like I don't know, man. It's not that difficult. You feel me? It's not difficult to portray like a big dude like that, right? Especially since you animated by like a big dude, and he is a big dude, right? That's realistically what his voice is, but to convey those emotions like quick, like it is very impressive what that man does, and it's I maybe because I'm biased, maybe because I'm not like a big fan of Red Dead. I wasn't like blown away by it. I played it. I enjoyed some of it. Most of it I didn't, to be honest with you. I still gave it an 8 out of 10 because of its technicality of its 8 being 10. But personally, I don't really like it that much, to tell you the truth. I haven't touched it ever since I beat it. It really is one of those one and done games for me. I don't, and the online's fucked all the hell, so I'm not even gonna touch that until at least they can get that shit to the, what I'm saying, remotely doable. What's up, Cyber Dragon? For sure, man. But I mean, and it's crazy. Like going into it, a lot of people think that God of War may not have win. Like a lot of it, like God of War was actually going in somewhere the underdog compared to Red Dead Redemption, and I'm sitting here like, how? How is that possible? If you compare games, it's like you can't do it. Like God of War, I don't remember like really encountering glitches like that. Not like throughout the whole game. I don't think I have. Like I had one glitch. It was incredible, and I know it's not like a true open world game and shit, but for what they did, and you still have no glitch, that's so impressive. You know what I mean? That shit is super impressive. Like that game is a solid game. There's just nothing really like you have to nitpick it to say something wrong about it. You know what I'm saying? As far as God of War, you have to really sit down and nitpick this motherfucking game. So of course it would win, but for it to not win in certain categories, like it astonished me. Like I'm like, you can't tell me God of War is also not the best looking game of the year. Maybe if you count Detroit, if you say Detroit, maybe Detroit can take it. But bruh, like you can't tell me Red Dead looks better than God of War. That's insane, right? That's insane. You can't tell me that. Like that's not possible. Like how is that possible? Like I don't know. They can win best story. Like I'll give you that. You know why? Because here's the thing: the best story thing is the only thing that's so subjective that you can give somebody that. Because when you say something looks better, like if you saying that subjectively, then I don't know how you can break down subjective as far as which one looks better. Like art design, or is it like realisticness? Like what are we doing as far as like, because as far as art design, like God of War like beats it, of course, because God of War is based on mythical gods and shit. Of course, it'll look better in a world that doesn't really exist. Fucking Red Dead is based on fucking Wild West, horses and cattles and shit. Like you can only do so much. The canvas, like when you look at like a vista from God of War, is fucking booming and epic as fuck. You look at vista from Red Dead Redemption, it's cool. Like it's just nice. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. It's nice. It's like a nice painting someone did, but this shit is epic. This is beyond like the colors of reds and blues and shit that you see on screen when shit's like blowing up and all that. Come on, man. Like, come on. And the music, maybe it's also subjective, but bro, like, goddamn, like I can still hum the God of War theme in my head, and I played that game like months ago. I haven't touched it in months, and I still remember the theme. I don't remember the music in Red Dead because I'm not like a Western song kind of guy. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not one of those dudes, but I don't remember none of that music. I don't. Well, Horizon Zero Dawn, that doesn't count because that was last year's game. That was 2017 game. Yeah, I mean, and the craziest shit is, I still think Horizon Zero Dawn looks, as far as looks is concerned, I still think that's the best looking game to this day. To this day, it's still the best. Just like the meme right now, is like, to this day, what I mean, to this day, it's still the best looking game right now, like out there. Just because of what it shows. Like in my opinion, it's not so much like when you're talking about how good a games look, right? It's also like it's not just like the clarity is important, right? It has to be what's depicting. Like every time you like look out when you play Horizon, and of course, the subject matter of the game itself matters, because if you playing a game about cowboys, you're gonna see some cowboy shit. You playing a game about a girl running around and you know futuristic prehistory type shit, you know what I mean? And fighting robotic animals and shit, you're gonna see that type of shit. It's gonna be a different type of vista, but that's why it looks beautiful, right? So that ties into it. So I mean, when you say what game looks the best, you can't tell me that this game looked better than God of War. It's insane. Yeah, guys, to this day, you know what I mean? It's still the best, cause it's still the best looking game out there. Like just to watch, like I don't know, like if you ever got caught under like the thunderstorm and had that giant robot bird just come swooping down on you, that shit's epic as fuck, man. Just looking at that shit. What's war, cuz? Or they ain't want to try to play with you. They ain't trying to play Tekken with you, guys. And ain't nobody trying to play Tekken with you, Trash. Is that what it is? Because I would have hopped on and shit. But yeah, man, like the Game Awards though. All right, bro. I'm gonna holler at you after I do this. This is probably gonna be about an hour and a half or so. Not too much to talk about, slow week and shit. But I mean, Game Awards, cause like I would respect it, right? I would respect it if it was like a real Game Awards, like it's a true Game Awards, right? Like I would respect it if it was a true Game Awards, and we over here and we over here like really breaking shit down and stuff. But we don't really watch it for that. We watch it to see at the end of the day who wins the game of the year because that's the only one that anyone care about. That's what people should watch. Like they sit through a whole show of bullshit because that whole show was fucking god awful. Yeah, it was refreshing, man. It was different. I don't know about all that, Kevin Mack. There's a lot of game awards out there actually. And some of them do it way more legitimate than the game awards we think of when we think of the game awards. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of game awards out there. They just don't have the popularity. They're just not, on Spike TV and all this other shit. Like from back in the day. You know what I mean? They just don't have that recognition, that popularity. But some of them do it way more legitimate and better than the game awards we think of. You don't know what I'm talking about, bro? Just look up all the game awards that there is. But certain places have different game awards, right? Like any place can start a game award. What is the one that Jeff Keighley hosts? Why is that one so special? Why is that the game awards? You know what I mean? Because why is the Oscars called the Oscars? It's named after you know what I mean? So they started that shit. Any website, any magazine, any publication that has enough of a sway can do a game awards, and if it has enough sway, that shit what matters. You know what I mean? Damn, first time since 2013, bruh. That's a long. Nah, dude. What choice it was? That's not true. Don't call me Danny. That can't be true, is it? I mean, I agree with it because I mean you can't get around that. You can't get around that God of War is the game of the year. No matter what you do. What's up, D? I mean, no matter what you do, man, you can't get around that, man. It's the game of the year. It's just point blank. You can't just get around that shit, right? But that's what I was saying. Is certain things are also perception versus reality. Like no one else paid attention to all these other awards because it seemed like it doesn't matter compared to the first one. Like no one broke those stuff down. Like how certain games win the shit that they win, and really though, why do we have awards that motherfuckers don't care about, like esports and shit? You know what I mean? Real shit have that on their own stage. Have like an esports, like you know what I mean, award ceremony, whatever the fuck they want to do, and you want to discuss the players in esports and yada yada yada, fighting game players, football game character players. You know what I'm saying? Madden players, FIFA players, like Overwatch players, like Street Fighter players, whatever you want to do, like esports motherfuckers to have your own shit, separate from this game award shit. What the fuck are these? Why is a white boy with green hair fucking named Ninja? How the fuck is his name Ninja? Anyways, why why is his ass brought up on stage on a game award? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like that type of shit. I'm too scared to even see it. Don't call me Danny. I ain't gonna. I'm too scared to even see it right now. Is that really true? I gotta see this shit. Hold on. Hold on. Damn. I can't do it right now, man. I can't. I'm sorry. Because if I do it, I gotta turn the volume up and all that shit to hear what they saying and all that. That shit's 15 minutes long. I can't do that right now. I mean, Uncharted 4. Who won that year instead of Uncharted 4? Who won that year instead of Uncharted 4? Over Uncharted 4? Overwatch won? Oh shit. That must be why I blocked it out of my memory. I don't even remember that shit. Overwatch won that shit, huh? Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the year when all hell broke loose. Man, I was like, how the fuck did Overwatch? Yeah, yeah, that's right. Jesus. Yeah, I remember now. Overwatch won. Yeah, that shit's incredible. Overwatch. How the fuck does Overwatch win Game of the Year? It's fucking Overwatch. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Horizon didn't win either. It's a fresh IP. It was a great IP. It was it's a fresh IP. Not only was it a fresh IP, but it was an interesting IP. You know what I mean? It came out of a developer who was not even known to make those type of games. I feel like they should have won for sure. For sure, for sure. No, I can't really say that there's no way a multiplayer game should ever win because there are ways that a multiplayer game could be very good to where it could win Game of the Year, but not none of these type of motherfucking multiplayer games. You know what I mean? Not none of these motherfucking multiplayer games. If you're gonna do a multiplayer game that win Game of the Year, it better be a fucking masterpiece of a fucking multiplayer game. You feel me? And I have not seen one that is yet. I have not seen one that is. A matter of fact, I feel like if they actually mean to make multiplayer game really good like that, then they could have win. It's just they don't make multiplayer games to like achieve anything. They just make it for the money. That's why it's written like riddled with like loot boxes and fucking microtransactions and shit. And you know it's fucking crazy when it comes down to that shit when fucking the law have to fucking get involved with this nonsense. To where, you know, motherfuckers have to like get involved and do that shit. But Game Awards, I feel like Forza won. Of course, Forza won. Of course. What does that? How does that make sense? They tack that in there, sports slash racing games, or like you know what I'm saying, and it beat FIFA and 2K. Right? They could have had a racing game category, but it beat FIFA and 2K. Cause what's up, Daniel? Yeah, man, it's been a minute, bro. It beat FIFA and 4K, like 2K, like to Forza won that shit. And I mean, I don't really care for racing games like that. So I mean, it's whatever. I don't play sports games or racing games. So that category, like, I can't really speak on it. I don't really know it like that. You know, I really don't know it like that. All I know is Forza is a good racing game franchise. That's all I know. That's all I know. I don't really know what else. But I mean, there are games that come out every year. So what? Like they're not special. So the fuck what, man? Right? So the fuck what? Real shit, D. I guess that's the. I mean, I don't play none of those games, so I can't really say shit. You know, I know 2K is microtransaction your ass to death. I know that. I know that 2K would like smack the shit out of you for like buying anything, and it's wild as fuck. You get a haircut, it costs money, and then fucking you want a different haircut, it costs more money. Like, and your hair grow out or some bullshit. Like it's wild shit. And this is a game about basketball. Cardboard people. Hey, man. At least, you don't look at cardboard people when you racing. You look at the road and shit. All right. It's like I said, man. Perception over reality. Don't pay attention to these cardboard motherfuckers. Just enjoy your race. Why you over here tripping about these motherfuckers being two dimensional, motherfucker? Just Just worry on your 3-dimensional race. Don't worry about these 2-dimensional motherfuckers standing on the sideline cheering you on and shit. I mean, I don't. I I realize now that like the Game Awards, like really none of us actually take it seriously, and we only take it as seriously as much as they willing to try to act like it's serious. You know what I mean? Like we go through the motion. Realistically, we just watch to see some good ass trailers of some new shit if there is any. And this year is a fucking bore fest, man. Ain't no good shit that was shown. Did y'all like anything that comes out? Did y'all like anything that came out in on the Game Awards? I like Pathless. That shit looked kind of nice. But besides from that, I don't really know what's there because Pathless seemed like it's gonna be like it didn't seem like it's like a major AAA or nothing, but it seemed like it's one of those like low key, like calm, open world, like not open world, but like slow journey type of game that you might want to fuck with. I might want to fuck with that. So, but besides from that, did y'all like anything that's there? I'm talking about new shit. I'm not talking about shit we already know. I'm not talking about like Devil May Cry and all this other shit that we already know about. Psychonauts, Mortal Kombat 2. I mean 11. I might fuck with Mortal Kombat 11, man. I usually don't play Mortal Kombat, but I don't know if y'all was over there in the round table when we was doing the Crumb Side reviews. But on the Roundtable podcast, man, what I'm gonna do is in January I'm gonna start doing gameplay on my channel on Royal Flush Gaming, right? I'm gonna do like I'll pick a single player game and I'll play through the story of it. I'll walk through the whole game and I'll play that on my channel. But on the round table, like fighting games when they come out, whether I know how to play or not, I'm gonna cop it. I'm gonna play it with y'all like on air and shit. I'm gonna just play the single player mode, or if they have one like the arcade mode and shit, if people want to hop in so we can learn how to play together and shit. If I don't know how to play it, if I do know how to play it, I'll review the shit. You know what I'm saying? Go over it and shit. See what is different from like the previous generations and what's going on with that and shit. So quasi review is not like I'm really reviewing the shit. I'm just gonna go over it, show y'all my fucking game, try to play it, see how it works, see if I can get good at it, so y'all can see what it's like to start playing fighting games. Because I feel like fighting games is one of those games that like that needs to like, that it's hard to get into, man, and it needs people to get excited enough to learn how to play it and shit. So that's what I'm gonna do. So by next month, look out for that shit on the roundtable, like fighting game related shit on my channel. It'll be mainly just you know, the first one I'm gonna do is that Res 2 remake. I'm gonna play through that. Originally, I was gonna do the Devil May Cry shit, but that's gonna be way too far out there. I'm gonna start with Res 2 remake, and I'm gonna go down the list to where like every hot, like any like single player game that come out that I want to play that I know I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna probably just stream that shit. Um, and hopefully they don't take my shit down for copyright shit, which they shouldn't, because I don't make no money off of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't make no money off of none of this shit, so I don't think they would do that. Old school fighters. I mean, I don't know how I could. Maybe. God damn, I don't really want to use fucking play. See, this is the fucked up part. I never should have gave away all my old school systems and shit, man. But I'll try. I'll see. I might be able to do that. I might have to like find ways on how I can stream like old school fighters and shit. I might have to like fuck with a PC to be able to do that. So I might have to do that. Oh, for sure. When Samurai Showdown 2, that new one that come out, you already know I'm gonna be on that. And I do know how to play the old school Samurai Showdowns. Not the one on Nintendo, not the 3D one. That one was kind of weird. I never played that one. I never even seen it. I've never even seen it in person. I was only seeing like videos of it. I've never actually played the 3D one. But I played most of the old school one, the one with the sprites and all that, the 2D versions. So I know at least how to play Samurai Showdown. I don't know how much the new shit. I don't know how much is gonna change. You know what I mean? But yeah, whether I'm good at that fighting game or not, I'm gonna cop it. I'm gonna play it. I might get into it. I don't know, just so y'all can see what it's like. It might be good for motherfuckers who do like that series to see what it's like and shit. Or you know, what I'm saying, it might be some new shit that y'all want to cop. But yeah, that's what it's gonna look like. Once the new year hit, man, try to do other shit other than just this podcast and little videos here and there. So I will be start doing videos too. You know what I mean? And videos mainly just gonna be like certain topics that I don't really feel like talking about on this podcast because it's a topic that needs explaining and shit. You know, it needs to like to be done in a video format to better explain myself compared to this podcast shit. Because podcast, I just do this free from the top of my head. It's not like I have shit pre-planned out and stuff. And my videos will mainly be like that too, but at least I'll have like pre-planned out structure to it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Two Jackie Chan fighters, Blooded Warriors, a Japanese Mortal Kombat clone. Yeah, I'm gonna have to peep that shit, man. That shit sound dope as fuck. That shit sound dope, man. I might have to fuck with it. But yeah, man, like I always love fighting games, and I'm not good at all of them, but I'm willing to like see what it's all like, and I might be able to like since it's on the round table, and it might be cool just to have some of the round table motherfuckers hop on and fuck with me with it. You know what I'm saying? Just run like versus mode and see what like learn about the game and shit, see the broken shit in the game and the cool shit in the game and all that shit. Yeah, man. I love to play. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm my best fighting game, of course, is Street Fighter, but I play some other ones too, but I don't play all of them, so I don't know about all of them. But I'll get through them as as time go on. We'll pick a certain game and we'll go through it and shit. So probably get Mortal Kombat 11 as well, just to do that shit at least. Damn. Oh, yes, I'd be, hey man, you imagine getting your like I would rather have like my both of my pinky and ring finger taken off before my thumb, man. I'd rather have three fingers and one of them is still my thumb. I need that shit. I need that shit. Yeah, right. Just tell them you got your nerve ending at the right where your thumb meets your palm like got smashed and you can't move it no more. You can only move the four fingers and shit. You can only wave to motherfuckers now. You can't grasp shit. That's not really true though. There's more than that, Kevin. Because a raccoon got opposable thumbs. Raccoons got opposable thumbs. Because ever seen raccoons? They have a whole hand just like us. Because they hold things just like us. Like you ever seen that shit? Where I live, man, there's a whole lot of raccoons. I hate this shit. I was planning on putting a koi pond in the back of my yard, man. I'm like, man, I bet you raccoon will come through and eat all my fish, man. I'm still like low key not want to do that shit. That's probably stupid. What's up, Vieira? Yeah, man. So Game Awards, that's all I'm saying. I don't feel like it really is an award. Like I don't like believe any one of us actually think that shit, you know? And that's why it's not real. That's why like at the end of the day when they win game of the year, whoever wins the game of the year, you feel something about it, whether you are happy about that shit or not, whether you agree with it or not. Like that, I feel like that's the only one that actually people show up to see. And it's a shame because I feel like all of them deserve like a spotlight. I think developers do work hard. Like I know I always say that gamers are not entitled because we paid for this shit, and it's true. Well, you should never feel like you are entitled because you paid for this shit. You want to make sure the shit that you paid for is good. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about your internal conflicts in your company and all this bullshit. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. All I know is when I go to the store and buy a motherfucking game or go online and download a motherfucking game and I pay you this motherfucking money, I better be able to play it and I better be able to enjoy it. If I don't, then shit, I'm not gonna buy your product no more. I'm gonna say it's shit. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? But on the other hand, some of these people create like works of art, man. They deserve to be, commended for that. But I don't feel like these awards are like serious enough. Like they don't really take those things in consideration. Like most of the awards, I'm like, how do these games win the awards that they win? You feel me? Like God of War won because goddamn it, God of War didn't win. How can it not? It is the game of the year. Like it's fresh on people's mind years round, dude. I mean, Red Dead just been out for a few months and it's like already, like, it's not even been out for a few months. It's only been out for 8 months, really. And motherfuckers already not really, you know, fucking with it like that no more. Like people don't really talk about it except for like how shitty the online is. That's not completely true, Kevin, man. It's not all just the gamers voting on it. Like you can vote, but that doesn't really. It's not really just for the gamers vote. But anyway, as far as the game award is concerned, I don't really think is that like complete, because really Jeff Keighley literally have to do like commercials for the shit talking about right. Nominees were elected by committees, which means there's certain games that's not already like even nominated and yada yada yada. But the voting process, I don't really know, man. I've never actually get to read on the policies of how all that bullshit work. You know, they say you vote on it, but how clear is that? And I'm not here to like on some tinfoil hat shit. I'm just saying, like they say you vote on it, but how much of that actually applies is what I'm saying. And if that's the case, you really like if people vote on it, I really can't imagine they vote that Red Dead got the best soundtrack. Really? In this day and age, people, you know what I mean, prefer that shit. Oh, for sure, that shit was dope. Read it, boy. That shit was dope. What's up, Future? But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. I don't really think I don't really think people take it seriously enough, and I don't really think people who put it together take it seriously enough. I feel like it's more commercials and getting airtime and all that shit than anything else, man. That's just the way I feel about it. But as far as this Xbox Game Anywhere shit, so I've been reading up on it as well, not just hearing motherfuckers talk about it. So this Xbox Games Anywhere, and when they say anywhere, they mean any devices, right? What does that mean? Does that mean it's going to be on PlayStation? Yada yada yada. That's what people are talking about nowadays. And I want to break this down as far as the business side of it. Like, is it possible? Right? Because when we talk about like gaming, when it comes to consoles and shit, and when we say Xbox and Xbox games and shit, it's always crumb side related. Hey, real low key, Daniel, I actually like all that other stuff you do in the game than the actual like. I don't know, man. I actually like the hunting part. You know what I mean? That's the only part I actually like. The hunting. I don't really like fishing. I mean, I don't really like doing like a lot of shit in the game. The hunting shit was like my favorite thing to do. I just want fucking Red Dead if they bring back fucking the undead, man. Like I want the zombie mode. I want that zombie fucking DLC. I want the undead fucking shit. What's up, Lincoln? But yeah, Xbox and game anywhere. Like when they say all fucking platform, like not all platform, but any devices. Does that include PlayStation and Nintendo? Right, is what we want to talk about. What's up, support gaming? Um, uh, do we think that's possible? I personally, I feel like that's very possible. That's very possible. And I'm not coming from like a fanboy crumb side type of shit. I'm talking about business wise. It is very possible because the thing is when people say the console war is very real, I'm like, no, that's perception is and reality is two different things. People perceive the fucking console war to be real. It is not. It is just companies trying to figure out how to make money, and at times it conflicts with other companies because they're trying to do the same shit to make the money. All right? Do you understand what I mean? No, Sony. But this is what I'm saying. It's not just Game Pass. It's just the games in general. It's just the game in general. So what I mean, as far as a business is concerned, is like to a business, they just want to make money, As long as there's a revenue stream for that to happen, they will do it, right? It has to be good enough for them, though. Yeah, can you imagine, Danny? Like, can you imagine, Daniel, if they do Undead Nightmare in like this generation with the graphics the way it is and shit? That shit would be dope. You know what I mean? Be riding around on a fucking blue flaming horse, a blue zombie flaming horse. That shit be dope as fuck. That don't trip over a fucking rock and die. You know what I mean? I'll be mad as fuck they do that shit. Didn't they say there was only way to fixing that shit? I haven't even touched the online support gaming. I haven't even touched that shit yet. I thought there was they said they was gonna like work on that shit. Has any update come out for you? Excuse me. I was mad as fuck because the reason why I keep bringing up that when you fucking your horse trip over a rock and die, it was because I was playing the game right, and the horse tripped over a rock and damn near died almost a bunch of time, but it didn't really upset me like that because I always had like a horse revival shit and all this other shit. But close to the game's ending, I was far as fuck from my objective, and and every time I was trying to play the game, I always had some other shit come up. Old girl called me in the middle of it. Had to go do some shit. Every time I come back to the crib just to finish the fucking game, some bullshit would happen, right? And I was able to take care of all that nonsense. I came back and I've been away for the game for so long that the game, like the system shut down and all that. Like it went to rest mode and all that. I turned the game back on, played it for a few more minutes. I'm trying to ride to my fucking destination. The motherfucker tripped over a rock and died. Just a regular ass rock, not even like a big boulder or nothing. Just a fucking rock the size of my head, just laying there. The motherfucker just tripped over it and died. And I ran out of like revival shit. And it's the most powerful horse I got. And I'm just standing here with no horse. And I can't finish a motherfucking mission. You know what I'm saying? And I was just mad as fuck. Luckily, I was like, you know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna like reload the fucking last checkpoint. That way, I'll still have the motherfucking horse. And luckily, that shit worked. But for like a few minutes, I'm like, God damn it, really though? What the fuck? If you play the online tutorial, you get this special handgun. It's the most powerful handgun in the game, and that's special outfit and the fastest horse. Is that really true? What the fuck? Cause it did, man. I was mad as fuck. It tripped over a fucking rock and died, bro. Like what? It's like how is this realistic? Do you know? Have you ever been on actual horses and shit? Like they know what the fuck they doing. They cared about their life just as much as yours, or probably more than yours. What the fuck? Of course, more than yours. Just because you get to ride it doesn't mean it cared more about your life. You think just because you telling this, if it knows it's gonna trip over this rock and die, you think it's gonna really do that and shit? The horse only trip over shit when it gets surprised, bro. They don't get horses don't trip like that. You gotta understand they're built to like they live in that kind of landscape, bro. Like what the fuck? I was just saying like what the fuck? This motherfucker just tripped over a rock and bashed his head on something and died. Cause like what the fuck? Yeah, man, I was just mad as fuck when that happened. But y'all be getting me off subject. Anyways, Game Anywhere, right? Xbox Game Anywhere. How I think it's possible. The way I think it's possible is if Xbox no longer compete with PlayStation at all. And I was saying the last podcast, I was saying how it's possible that like in the next generation, people will look for different things when they think of gaming. You know, when you think of gaming, you don't think of PlayStation like this there's anywhere, play anywhere type of shit, easily accessible, not really that impressive lineup of game as far as like technically develop or none of that. It's when you think of PlayStation, you think, damn, this thing is a specialized machine built for gaming. It comes with a lot of games that people spend a lot of time, effort, and shit, money, and all that to build. And that's why it's only on this system. It's not on any other system. They have like a crazy amount of exclusives you can't get anywhere else. But since it's a machine built for gaming, right? You have all this other, third party shit too. This lesser, not lesser, but third party games and smaller games like AAA titles and indies and whatnot. But you have these massive games as well. And so people think of PlayStation when they think of that. That's why they go there for that experience. They know they want some crazy over the top, experiences. They'll go with that. And they'll probably think of Xbox as this very easy, accessible thing to get into gaming. You got to remember, they're reaching out to I mean, not five, but 2 billion people, supposedly, they're trying to reach. The high roller and the elite Arabian horse. Yeah. I mean, the Arabian horse is what I got to. That motherfucker's sick. In the actual game, in the story campaign and shit. That's what I ride to. That shit's dope. But yeah, man. So if you're talking about, you know, business is concerned, when you say business wise, why wouldn't it make sense? What? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't it make sense to get everything possible on your system? Especially if these people aren't really competing anymore. So if PlayStation is known for that, right? They'll have all those exclusives, yada yada yada. People buy the system for that only, and also all this other stuff. It's like a one and all gaming. When you think of gaming, you buy this system and you'll be set, right? If you're new to gaming, or if you're just gaming on the go, yada yada, it's easy, open market. You just get a game, play it on your laptop. Introducing you to gaming, that kind of stuff, right? You think of Xbox. Excuse me. And you think of Nintendo the same way. You think of Nintendo like this premium console for like younger players, like for everybody, rated E for everyone type of games. You probably think of that. You know what I mean? Man, I don't know what the fuck's going on lately, but the phone's jumping off like a motherfucker. And so I see that being possible because PlayStation could allow it if they can find a way to profit off of it. Like I know people would say shit like well, why would they want to put their competition shit in there? And I'm like, bruh, I know what I mean, like if there's a way for them to make money, why wouldn't they do it? Look at Nintendo putting Sega games on their Sega characters and shit on their system. Why wouldn't they? If Xbox no longer is concerned about hardware sales and they freely admit they don't care about hardware sales because they don't want to tie you to one system for games. They want to put their games on everything, on every device. So it's not the question of whether they were willing to work with a company or not. It's whether that company is willing to work with them. You know. Well, Microsoft this whole time has has changed courses many times, and the reason why is because they're trying to find a way to profit. They haven't found a profit within gaming yet, and they're trying to find a way to do it, or at least lay the seeds to profit. You know what I mean? And that's how they could do it. It's not so much whether they're willing to work with someone; it's whether that other company's willing to work with them or not. Because if you're willing to let Xbox put Game Pass on there, then you know they would do it. If Sony allowed them to, they would do it. So with that being said, you just gotta figure out if Sony's willing to do it, if they actually have the money to, not so much the money, but if they can see a way to profit off of that. So they could tell Xbox that you could put your shit on our system, but we'll just get a percentage, and that also due to what Xbox, the actual console, will be doing next generation. will it still be selling or not? Because if it does really poorly, Xbox may not do it. The Xbox just might just go completely, as a service, which is better that way. And if it does completely go become a service, why not fuck with other people's hardware, right? God damn. I don't know what it is, but this shit's fucking me up. Give me a second. I'll be right back. My fault. Must be allergic to, silly shit. I mean, their business plan has started out this generation very much like, we want to take over your living room, right? That's why they came out with the Xbox One, the all-in-one machine, and then it sold poorly. It did. Don't tell me it didn't. And people was like, "You think 30-something million is a failure?" Yes, it is. Anything who doesn't make profit is a failure because the company's in game, in business to make money. The cost of of research and development for this motherfucking console, let alone the advertising and all this other shit, selling 30 million of it, you really think will fucking did anything? You know what I mean? For the system, as far as the business is concerned. So they have to find ways to make money with this gaming shit. And that's why I feel like they're buying these studios for these studios to make games that they could put anywhere. All right. There's not gonna be any major big block blockbuster type of game. Not like what Sony's doing, because that's what they're gonna be known as. All right. That's what Sony's name is gonna be. It's just that company that has that large collection of like over the top single player experiences out of this fucking world. You have to play it, right? And so you have to play that shit. But Xbox is gonna be on anywhere. Why can't it be on PlayStation and Nintendo? As long as Xbox can find a way to profit, because their game is service type shit or their service itself, and that service could be on someone else's hardware. I could see that happen. They want to reach out to as many gamers as possible. There's 80 something million on this console alone. I don't know what it's gonna be next generation. You know, I don't know what's going to be next generation. And it's all have to do with perception versus reality. People perceive this console war to be so real that it actually affect business doing business. Like console war only like is only real to people who take it to be real. It's not a real thing. It's not really a real thing. Like two companies would rather make money with each other than not make money in spite of each other. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a company, I'm more concerned about making money, not like fucking over another company. The only time I would ever fuck over another company is if they're fucking up my money, right? But if there's a way for me to parlay and make money alongside this other company, I would. Just as long as it fits how well it works for me. But Microsoft, as far as console sales, if next generation their console doesn't move either, I could very see that happening. Does it seem like it's doing that right now? It already does, don't it? And they are very clear with that message. They actually said on any device. They could have been more specific. And trust me, as a business dude, right? As a dude who fuck with linguistic when it comes to just business terminology, people all in they can get in a lot of trouble just the things that they say, so they have to word things very carefully. So they don't make that often slip of the tongue type of comments. When you say any device, you mean any device that work for electronics, any electronic device that play video games. That's what we're talking about. You want to reach over 2 billion, gamers, and there's about 100 million of that is gaming on a console. You don't want to reach that market. especially of how well those people pay for those games. You know? Yeah, there's no way you could have hit your quota for your console. You know, you gotta remember last generation, PlayStation sold their PlayStation 3 at $600. Sony sold that shit at $600 in the beginning. You know, and it went down in price because they took certain shit out. But at the end of it, they sold like over 80 million something console, and they still haven't recouped on the money they lost from it. They still lost way like more money than you can imagine. And the thing is, people, Xbox dudes and stuff, they brag about how much money Microsoft do have, and it's true, they do have a lot of money. So they can take those kind of hard losses, like those hard drops in numbers, compared to Sony. Sony is not as rich as Microsoft, and that is the truth, right? So they have to play their cards a lot better when it comes to like this console shit, because this console shit is actually making them a lot of money. You know, if there's a way for them to profit from it, they would. It's basically just like having another app on your system when you turn it on. Like when you turn it on, there's certain like you can get a YouTube app on PlayStation. You can get a lot of other apps on your PlayStation. And I'm sure PlayStation have to pay like have a workout deal with those people. Why can't they do that with Microsoft? Just because they've been in competition before doesn't change anything. If there's money to be made, there's money to be made, right? And that's all I'm saying. It's like perception versus reality. Motherfuckers think just because Sony out here doesn't like, do certain things doesn't mean they won't do that. They will if they have the right setup to do so. 200 profit per sale. Damn. Can you imagine that shit? It's almost impossible to recoup that kind of money, man. They already sold it at a loss at $600, right? And I don't know how powerful this Scorpio is really compared to the PlayStation of its generation, the PlayStation 3 of its generation, but I feel like the PlayStation 3 of its generation is way more powerful than the Xbox One X of this generation. Do you understand what I'm saying? Comparatively, as far as like if you spend the kind of money necessary to build a PlayStation 3 back in the day like that, costs way more than it does to create a Xbox One X of this generation of today. But I don't know how much that applies, but I'm sure you can't really make that money back like that because an Xbox One X is still different from the original Xbox One. There still has to be R&D done and all this other nonsense to actually to build this fucking console. And they did that damn near 3 times within one generation, and they still only sold a collective about 30 some odd a million of it. You really think you made back that kind of money yet? So their money is not in console sales. That's a fact. That's for sure. We know that for sure. And it failed for sure, for sure. That's not really, let's not act like it's not. Like that's real. You know what I mean? That's reality of the situation. Next generation, if they want to like be successful, at least they're gonna have to think outside the box. They're probably not gonna fuck with it no more. It might be just a service. Why keep losing money? So it could be just a service, and it could just go on everything, including PlayStation. And the only way it would go on PlayStation is not up to Xbox, Microsoft to decide. It's up to PlayStation, Sony PlayStation to decide whether they want that on there or not. And if that's the case, it's what will get Sony to do it or not. And I'm thinking, and me personally, I think that's why they're buying up like these studios right now to make it worth it for certain people to put their shit on there. You know what I mean? Look at all the games that we have, right? Sony, look at all the games that we have that you don't have, right? And we would like to put it on your shit. And we'll work out the details on how we all can profit from that. And there's a positive within that for PlayStation. Buy a PlayStation. You can play everything on it. There's a lot of shit you won't be able to play if you don't have a PlayStation. But if you have one, you literally can play anything. You know what I mean? There's a positive and to everything in business. You just have to figure out if it's enough for you to take that opportunity. You know, so I could see that happening. I could see very well that Xbox games can go everywhere, literally everywhere, like on a PlayStation, fucking on someone's smart refrigerator. But I could totally see that happening. And if it does, I still probably won't play none of them. You know what I mean? Because if I did, I would have bought an Xbox already, right? Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm just saying, if I want to play those games, I would have bought an Xbox already. I don't want to. That's why I didn't buy one. So that's all I'm saying. Perspective versus reality, right? Because there's a lot of, I mean, perception, right? Because your perception of something a lot of time trumps reality. You do certain things and say certain things because you believe it to be true, not because it really is true. It's just as far as you know, it's true. So, is it more important to tell you something so much that you believe it to be true, or to tell you what reality really is and have you think, what it really is? Because right now, the perception is there is such a thing as a company that's out there that's pro-consumer or anti-consumer, right? There's no such thing as pro or anti-consumer. That's a perception, right? Here's what a company is. A company opens because they want to make money. Even if originally the owner of that company enjoy what he does, he still want to make money off of the things that he enjoys. Even if he doesn't enjoy it or he does enjoy it, either way, it's still a business and they want to make money, right? And the thing with business is a back and forth. You have to be good to the machine, and the machine has to be good for you, right? The business has to provide you with a product that you desire or at least need, and then in return, you pay for that product. That's the almost symbiotic relationship between the customer, the consumer, and the industry itself. And as far as the industry itself, if the company does a good job of providing what it is that you want and or need, then you would always get that. You would always keep on getting the product and the services that they provide. But as soon as they fucked up, you stop, right? But that's as clear as it gets. So where does it matter whether you anti or pro consumer? Because if you pro consumer, then you hurt yourself. But if you anti consumer and you hurt the customer, and no one would buy your shit no more. There's no such thing as pro or anti consumer. The best move you can do is to have good business practices. You know what I mean? Good business practices mean I do a good job at what I do so my customers enjoy my shit and they will come back. Therefore, I would have a repeating revenue stream because these people like my shit and they'll come back to buy it. That's the end of it. It doesn't matter how good your customer service is. It doesn't matter how good, like how much you think about the people, how much you think about, you know, all of that. If your product is shit, you feel me? I don't care how good your, customer relations is, your PR people, all this nonsense, how much you was thinking of me when you was making your product. But if you make me a speedboat and the speedboat sucks, I don't really care about nothing else. I just know the speedboat sucks, right? I don't care how thoughtful you was like being when you was thinking of me when you make this boat. You know, like just be clear about it. Don't let the perception of shit like fuck your perception of the shit up. To get your perception as close to reality as possible. And what reality is basically what we cannot prove to be wrong, right? You can prove things to be right because of you can do experiments. You can show repeated experiment the same thing will happen no matter what. So you know that to be true to as best as your knowledge, and that's reality. The perception of it is you never actually went through any of that. You didn't look through this research. You never did none of these paperwork. You know what I mean? You didn't follow the necessary steps to figure out if this is really true or not. You just take that on face value. But since it's been on face value for so long, you expect that to be what it really is, but it isn't. It's just what you perceive things to be. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to hop off here. Apparently, there's some wild shit popping off. I might have to be a part of, and I have to go to a couple, round table meetings and whatnot here. So I'm gonna hop off here pretty soon, man. Unless y'all got anything else, I see that's the way I see it. You know what I mean? The way I see it is Xbox is very possible that it's gonna go into other consoles. It's very possible because if they can't sell their own consoles, they still have IPs to make money off. And if they're buying if they're buying content creators, there's a reason for that. Now it could all be like the opposite. They could just say no, not our competitors as far as like hardware devices and publishers, right? And we're not gonna put it on their product, but it'll be on everything else. That could happen. But I see a future where Xbox games gonna be everywhere, literally everywhere, because they want to reach as many people as they can. It's not about making high quality product that people will like sought after you to go get your products. It's more about just spreading your stuff as far of a net as possible and hoping to catch as much as you can, you know? And maybe that business model will work for them. I prefer, the other way around, but maybe that will work for them. But anyway, man, I told Thrash I was gonna hop off here in about an hour and a half because apparently he need to holler at me about some shit. So I can go do that real quick. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for coming. Stardust, don't call me Danny. Fucking Jackknife, Kevin Mack, Impatient. Shit, am I missing anybody? D, you know what I'm saying? Y'all my Spartan, Lay, shit. That's about everybody, right? Cyber Dragon, Ian, fuck. I think that's about it, right? Yeah. Vieira was here earlier, Lincoln, Future and shit, Support Gaming. Yeah, man. And I'm sorry I haven't been on the other shit either. On the last one, I said Vieira already. Vieira, goddamn. um, I'm sorry I missed the Friday podcast on Sunday. On the fucking round table, I was fucking exhausted on Friday. I had to take a nap. You know what I mean? I came home, took a nap, and slept through the whole fucking thing. I mean, because the night before we saw on so fucking long. We saw until like 2 in the morning, dude. You know what I mean? I didn't go to sleep until like damn near 3 o'clock. I could barely like stay awake or working shit. So, but yeah, man, I'm out. I'll see y'all later, man. I'll see y'all on Tuesday on the round table. Friday again, of course. But actually tomorrow we're doing that action. Well, we're doing another Crumb Side review tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And then of course we're back again on Monday. So content after content, man. I'll see y'all later. All right. Like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. Royal Flush, Draco Rex, Asian Gambit, and good night.